between the moon and the sun. It won't happen again for another 3 years. America's listening to Fox News.
Get all of your favorite Fox News podcasts ad-free on Apple Podcasts with Fox News Podcasts Plus. From Trey Gowdy, the Fox News Rundown, Will Kane, Brian Kilmeade, and so much more. Go to foxnewspodcasts.com for all the details. The Fox News Rundown, a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news twice a day, featuring insight from top newsmakers, reporters, and Fox News contributors. Listen and subscribe now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. New from the Fox News Podcasts Network, Dana Perino, co-host of the 5 and America's Newsroom on Fox News Channel, returns to the world of audio with a new limited-time podcast, Everything Will Be Okay with Dana Perino. Building off the success of her best-selling book of the same name, Dana provides an unequaled brand of advice built on real-life experience and interviews experts and individuals that make a difference in the lives of others. Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back! Today, our question is for all our listeners out there. Which internet provider has the fastest top speeds? Is it A, Xfinity? There is only one answer, and it's the right one. A, Xfinity. That's right, Xfinity has the fastest top speeds, plus gig speed Wi-Fi on the largest gig speed network.
Restrictions apply. Gig speed Wi-Fi requires gigabit internet and compatible X-Fi gateway. Actual speeds vary.
Hey, Santa Clara County sports fans. The new Omicron booster is here and available for everyone 12 and older. Remember that kids can get really sick with COVID and the effects can be serious and long-term. You can't be at the top of your game when you're super fatigued. So keep your athletes safe this fall and winter with this important booster. And of course, wear a high-quality mask whenever you're inside with lots of people. Visit scfreevax.org or call 211 to make your booster appointment. Stay healthy and stay in the game. Hey, Santa Clara County sports fans. The new Omicron booster is here and available for everyone 12 and older. Remember that kids can get really sick with COVID and the effects can be serious and long-term. You can't be at the top of your game when you're super fatigued. So keep your athletes safe this fall and winter with this important booster. And of course, wear a high-quality mask whenever you're inside with lots of people. Visit scfreevax.org or call 211 to make your booster appointment. Stay healthy and stay in the game.
Try to make sense of it, and you can't unless the sense is this. Barack Obama's a Democrat. He wants the Democrats to have control and more power, and they will put anyone into positions of power if it means that they get their agenda through. That's it. It is not more complicated. There's no country over party. It's party over everything, and if that means being absolutely hypocritical on some issues, so be it.
Weekdays at 3 p.m. East, noon West. Listen live or get the podcast now at GuyBensonShow.com.
Welcome back. Well, just 3 days from the critical midterms. Everyone is focused on the big matchups. For example, the Walker-Warnock runoff, perhaps, or the Oz-Fetterman sideshow. But for me, this is where blue could turn red. That's what it's about. Not because the candidates are so strong in the Republican states, some states they are, but because the Democrats have been so extreme and so wrong. The quickest way for Democrats to understand that their issues are not our issues is to lose something that means the most to them. And that's what I'm talking about, bright blue states. Now, for that message to be sent, Lee Zeldin has to go from a respectable result to an outright winner, become the next governor of New York. Tiffany Smiley will have to change from a refreshing, uplifting story to the next senator from Washington. Oregon, Christine Drazan has to go from a shocking Republican leader to the governor of Oregon, the first Republican in 40 years. These Dems are not only being beaten, they're being overtaken by new politicians, and they can't quite figure out why. Perhaps the most talented and impressive of them all is Kari Lake. She's on the cusp of winning the governor's mansion in Arizona, which it seems is why Barack Obama feels such a need and a compunction to demean her.
It doesn't just work out just because somebody's been on TV. Turns out being president or governor is about more than snappy lines and good lighting. It's about more than having a good anchor voice. It's about understanding what people are going through. It's about coming up with real solutions for how to make your life better. This isn't a reality show.
Does Kari Lake think it's a reality show? Let's ask her. governor. You just a TV person because you're good at broadcasting. You want to be governor?
Oh my gosh, am I living rent-free in Barack Obama's mind? That actually gives me a good laugh. Thank you, Brian, for having me on. You know, I was an honest journalist covering this beautiful state of Arizona for 27 years, and the people of Arizona know that about me. I covered all of the issues facing our state for nearly 3 decades. I understand the experts in all of these fields, and I understand Arizona. That's why we're doing so well. That's why Obama is in a panic, the left is in a panic, and they're rushing out here to Arizona to try to save frankly, a candidate who can't be saved. Her name is Katie Hobbs, and she is absolutely the worst candidate they've ever run on a ticket in Arizona. She's a leftist who's, ironically, a twice convicted racist who's cost the taxpayers nearly $3 million because of her racism. And our first black president comes out and is stumping for her. I think that's pretty despicable.
Well, she's also the Attorney General overseeing the elections. Are you comfortable with that?
She's Secretary of State, and no, I'm not. I've called for her to recuse herself, and I've been calling for her to recuse herself from any and all duties pertaining to our elections. She's refused to do that. She bungled the last election, the primary election, by giving them orders on how many ballots to print out, and they ran out of Republican ballots within the first hour of Election Day back in August in the primaries. She's already had mistakes in this race where she sent out 6,000 of the wrong ballots, federal-only ballots, to many voters, and those voters got a ballot where my name wasn't on it. So she's incompetent, and I'm not the only one saying that. The Arizona Supreme Court has called her incompetent in her duties as Secretary of State, and that's one of the reasons I think that people aren't going to vote for her. That, the fact that she's a twice convicted racist, right, the fact that she's an open borders type candidate who doesn't care about our security and our sovereignty and our safety in Arizona.
And you talked about borders, going to the border. One of the big stories is Governor Ducey said, you're not going to build a wall that the American people paid for, so I'm going to get shipping containers, make a barrier. The federal government is suing, saying you're trespassing. If you get this job, this is going to be your issue. You just went to the border. What are you going to do if the federal government says, I'm sending cranes, I'm taking them out?
Well, we're going to tell them to pound sand, because we are going to invoke our Article 1, Section 10 powers in the United States Constitution to protect our citizens in Arizona from an invasion. And we have an invasion at our border. We were just there. It is outrageous what's happening. And the mainstream media doesn't want to cover this story. And Barack Obama doesn't want to talk about it because he's an open borders globalist. He's okay with millions of people coming in illegally. We don't even know the background of many of these people, but we do know a lot of criminals are coming in, and that's why our crime is skyrocketing in Arizona, and that's why the fentanyl is pouring across. We saw areas at our border yesterday where it is a pipeline for the most deadly drug we've ever seen in this country, and it's killing our young people at record levels. I don't want to be known as the fentanyl state. I want to be known as the Grand Canyon state, and that's why as governor I have the most bold plan. It's called Defend Arizona. It is the most bold, aggressive border policy we've ever seen in this country. And starting on day one, we're going to enact it and take back control of our border from Joe Biden and the cartels that he's partnering up with.
Carrie, I know you know broadcasting, so you know I got 30 seconds. Are you going to do what Governor DeSantis and Governor Abbott has done, and then take some of these illegal immigrants overwhelming your border cities and sending them elsewhere?
Yeah, we're going to load them into buses and send them back across the border. We don't want to move them into other cities and make it harder to track these people down. We want to send them back across the border, and we're actually going to get our troops down to the border and stop people from coming across. And I know other governors will help out. I appreciate that Ron DeSantis and Kristi Noem and Governor Youngkin will help out, and we're hoping that Texas follows suit as well.
Projecting victory?
I think it's going to be a big victory. We have a movement here. We don't have a campaign. We have a movement. And you can feel it on the ground. Something big is happening in Arizona. We, the people, are rising up and saying we're taking back our state government. And I will be working for the people of Arizona. I look forward to rolling up my sleeves and getting to work to solve some of these big problems we've had for a long time.
You've captured everybody's attention, friend and foe. You are a force to be reckoned with. Best of luck in the last few days. I know you'll finish strong.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you having me on.
So, what do Elon Musk and comedian Chris DiStefano have in common? Honestly, I'm not sure. But we'll have Chris tell us what he really thinks